Hi, I'm Terry from Ben and Biscuits Boarding and Training Facility. This is Louie. Louie's done really good with his training. He's very stubborn though. Some days he has really good days, and then not too sure if today's going to be a very good day. He's not really wanting to sit for me, but we're going to show how we deal with things even if it's a bad day. We work through it, end it on a good note, and we'll go from there. But I've got just about a 4-foot leash here, but it can be anywhere from a 4-foot to a 6-foot leash. Nothing in particular, nothing special. I've got a prong collar on him, okay? That just makes him listen a little bit better, but it seems to work best. We're gonna do about 4 or 5 different exercises. The heel on leash, the sit stay, down stay, and the recall. Through all these exercises, the dog will be at your left side. The dog will be at your left side, okay? If you try to work him on the right side, he's not gonna be nearly as good. So always keep him on your left side. Okay, when we return, we'll start out with a heel on leash.
This is Louie's heel on leash. He should be at your left-hand side during this entire exercise. Here we go. Come on, Louie. Come on, Louie. Good boy. Come on, Louie. Come on, Louie. Good boy. Good boy. Come on, Lulu. Come on, Louie. Good boy. Can you sit? Good boy. Exercise finished.
Okay, we're gonna do Louis sit stay. The hand signal to sit. Just bring your hand up like that. Some days, like I said, he's really good. Sits every time. And like today, he's kind of so-so. So I think it's the bulldog stubbornness. Anyway, so we got him in a sit. Tell him to stay. The hand signal to stay is the palm of your hand in his face. Whatever distance, just tell him to stay. You're going to walk to the end of your leash. If you get home and he tries to follow you, maybe you're only going to go this far. But I'm going to go to the end of the leash, tell him to stay. You're only going to stay for like 3 seconds, then return. Later on, after you do this a bunch of times, several days down the road, you can start doing it for longer lengths of time. Do it for 10 seconds, 30 seconds, up to a minute, whatever, but gradually work your way up. Okay, sit, good boy. Stay. 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 Good boy, Louis. Stay. He's tired. Stay. Stay. Exercise finished. Praise your dog. Good boy, Louis. Down, stay. Put him in a sit. Okay, hand signal to sit. And you're going to turn and face him. You're going to put your finger right to the ground and tell him down. Okay, don't tell him any more than twice. Because it's like a small child. If you tell them and tell them and tell them and tell them, they know they don't have to do it until you tell them 1,000 times. So you're going to turn and face him. If he does it the first time, that's great. If he doesn't after you tell him twice, you're just going to pull him gently, take one of his feet, pull it out slowly to where he lays down, tell him to stay, walk to the end of your leash for 3 seconds like you did the sit, stay, and then return. Don't release him until you get all the way back from where you started. Okay, ready, Louie? Down. Good boy. Now, stay. 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 Good boy. Do it. Down. Stay. 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 Exercise finished. Praise your dog. Good boy. This is Louie's recall. Again, he's sitting at your left side. You're going to tell him to stay. You'll walk to the end of your leash, turn and face him. Reinforce the word stay as you walk out to the end of your leash because he's probably going to try to follow you the first couple times you do it. Okay? And then you're going to turn and face him. When you're at the end of your leash, you're going to use his name and call him and tell him to come. Bring your hand to your chest. And hopefully he'll come to your feet. He doesn't have to sit when he gets here, just as long as he comes to you. Ready, Lou? Ready, Lou? Come on, boy. You ready? Sit. Stay. 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 Louie, come. Come. Come on, Louie. Good boy, Louie. You did it. Okay, for a conclusion, Louie's done pretty darn good, but some days, both of the dogs, they don't want to heel. Sometimes they don't want to walk along beside you, and that's part of a bulldog. They're not, You don't see any in the obedience ring when you go to obedience shows. They can be very stubborn. Sometimes they can do it great, sometimes they won't do it at all. But they both done really good. Louie's done good. You can have this when you come and pick them up. It's just a leash that goes around their neck. The prong collar, sometimes it puts them in a mood that makes them not want to work as good. So then some other days it works better to use it. So it's kind of whatever day it is. But anyway, Louie's done real good. His stays are doing well. The sit stay and the down stays doing well. When I go through doorways, I always put them in a sit like that. I tell them to stay. I walk through the doorway first. Sometimes they'll try to get up. Put them right back in a sit where they started out. You walk through the doorway just a little bit like this. You got them on a leash, and then tell them to come. So you're doing the recall. And that way that establishes where you're always going through the doorway first. And later on down the road, it'll become a habit for them. And they won't always try to bust through a doorway as soon as the door gets open before everybody else does. You can continue it if you want, or you don't have to. They know all the hand signals: the sit, the stay, the come, the down. They know all the hand signals. It's just whatever day if they want to do it or not. So when you first get them home, if they don't do that well, they probably won't. They're going to be anxious to be back home and with the kids and all that. Give them a chance to get established back home. The first thing I would do, the only thing I would make sure that doesn't happen right off the bat is the jumping. Still, sometimes they'll try to jump every once in a while. Sometimes it's excessive, sometimes not much at all. But when you get them home, right from day one, don't allow it. When they start jumping, say off, and then just reach down like this, and just keep them down like this, and pet them. So all 4 feet are on the ground the whole time you're petting them. They'll learn after a while that they're going to get the most attention when they're sitting, or then they're standing all 4 feet on the ground, not when they're jumping. They're disciplined when they're jumping. Okay, so he's done very, very well. Thank you. Good boy, Louie.